All right, guys, we are live on all the platforms: TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. We're going live. We're going to be talking today about social media and how to use social media in your business. Basically, everything about social media. So, if you want to learn more about that, stick around and we're going to have a deep discussion. If you have any questions throughout, just drop them in the comments and I'll be sure to check them and respond to them as we go throughout. So, I'm going to throw up here a poll because I am curious what which some information from you guys, and I don't know what happened to it because I've never done a poll before. And unless you can see it on your end, is there a poll showing up on your end, guys, on TikTok? If you're watching, can you tell me if there is a poll that is showing up on your end? Here we go. Boom. Now it should be showing up. So if you're watching me, make sure you click on that poll. I'm just curious. Do you use social media to market your business? Yes or no? I just want to get an idea of who actually is actively using social media to market their business. And if you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, just drop it in the comments. Just to say yes or no in the comments if you're actively using social media. So if you're not using social media, why aren't you using social media? Is it because you're intimidated by it? Is it because you don't have enough time? Is it because you don't think it works? I'm just curious as to why you guys don't use social media. Let me turn that off so it's not too loud. And I want to have some interaction here to find out because you should be using social media in your business, whether it's construction or not. I don't care what business you have. I'm talking to contractors. But if you're not a contractor and you're watching, you should be using social media in your business on a regular basis because that is where everyone's attention is currently at. And right now, it's all on TikTok, which is exactly why I am going live on TikTok, is because that's where the attention is at right now. But I still do stuff on Facebook. I still do stuff on YouTube because those things are still valuable platforms that people are still checking out on a regular basis. But what I notice about contractors when it comes to social media is a lot of them do it wrong. A lot of them use social media in the wrong way. What I mean by that is they try to use social media to sell. They make posts, they make things like, hey, look at this kitchen we just remodeled. If you want to have your kitchen remodeled, give us a call for your free estimate. That's selling. That's you trying to sell through your post. And that type of posting has worn its welcome. It's long overdue. 5 years ago, those types of posts they would work, but anymore, nobody wants to be sold to. Do me a favor, if you're watching this, raise your hand so I can see it. Let me know if you like to be sold to. How many people love talking to salesmen? If you're on this, throw a yes or no in the comments. If you love to be sold to, if you love talking to salesmen, say yes or no or raise your hand. I gotta wipe my nose here, guys. I had septoplasty surgery 2 weeks ago on my nose. I had deviated septum surgery, and still healing a little bit. But every once in a while, I'll just get like random fluids dripping out of my nose. So if you see me wiping my nose, it's because it's leaking fluids. So, um, yeah, no, Leo says no, right? Because nobody loves talking to salesmen. So why are you trying to sell in your social media posts? Why I don't try to sell in my posts that I do for TikTok and all my organics. I don't always try to sell. Is there a time and place to ask for a sale? Is there a time and place to try and sell? Yes, there is, but only after you've provided a lot of value. If you've watched my lives before, if this is your first time or if you've watched them before, I go live for an hour providing you guys with content and training and answering your questions and providing you with value. I'm providing you with value through the entire hour. At the very end, I simply let you know if you're wanting more help in your business to reach out to me and I can share with you what that looks like. That's not a hard sell, it's a soft sell, right? But I've done that after I provided you with an hour of content. So if you're making a post about, look at this beautiful kitchen, look at this beautiful bathroom, look at this beautiful landscaping, a new roof we put on, whatever it is that you do, when you're making posts, you want to provide value to your end users, the people that are looking. And there's lots of ways to do that, and we're going to dive into those a little bit here today on different like techniques and different forms of content that you can be posting and for Facebook and TikTok and so on. Now, here's the most important thing you need to know about social media. You have to figure out where your clients, your ideal clients are. You have to figure out where your ideal clients are at. Because if all of your clients are on, let's say, Facebook, and you're making TikTok videos, those clients are never going to see your content, right? If they're on Instagram and you're making Facebook content and not specifically on Instagram, they're never going to see your content. So the very first thing you have to do is figure out where your clients are hanging out at. And there's lots of ways to do that. You can literally just ask them. You can see where people are trying to reach out to you, on what platform they're on. And here's a little secret, guys. However people contact you, if they send you a Facebook message, if they send you an Instagram message, if they send you a message through TikTok, however they contact you is the platform that they prefer to be on most of the time. Now, that doesn't mean, like, maybe they're on 3 different platforms and they just happen to see one on one platform and they reach out to you. But most of the time, people will contact you in the medium that they want to be to talk to you. That also applies to phone calls, emails, text messages. If someone has your number and they text you and say, "Hey, John, want to get an estimate from you on this project and get some thoughts from you. Let me know when you got some time." If they text you, that's because they generally prefer to be texted to. They prefer text. If they call you, it's because they generally prefer calling. If they email, it's because they prefer emailing. People will usually use the medium that they like to use the most to contact you. It's not always a hard and fast rule, but generally that is a rule. Okay. So if someone texts you, don't just pick up the phone and call them right away. If they text you, don't email them later that day. If someone sends you a text, "Hey, I want to get an estimate on a job," you could text back and say, "Yeah, man, it sounds great. Can I call you later today, or can I call you at a later time? I'm busy right now," or whatever. Like, you can set up the other way that you want to communicate. Okay, just keep that in mind. The same applies to social media. However they contact you is how they generally prefer is the platform that they prefer to be on. Now, I will say this. There is a very weird time happening right now in social media. With TikTok, it's currently taking over as the preferred social media time waster. So what's happening is that a lot of people are leaving the other platforms, i.e. Facebook, Instagram, and they're coming to TikTok for entertainment, right? Now, the whole purpose of doing social media as a business owner, and even paid ads for that matter, is to get in front of your ideal customers, right? But if you're on Facebook and you're posting Facebook ads or running Facebook ads or running Facebook content organically, and those people are leaving and going to TikTok, it creates this unique problem because there's fewer people on those other platforms. And because TikTok is not a local platform, it is an international platform, right? So unless you're doing paid ads on TikTok or you're using hashtags correctly and your people have to be looking for that information, it makes it much more difficult for you as a contractor to reach the person that is in your city, in your town, who's going to hire you on TikTok. Facebook is a lot easier because Facebook is about networks, right? Generally, you're not going to follow a business that's local to you if you would never hire them unless you're just trying to get, other information from them. So Facebook is more about local networks and connections. TikTok is about entertainment. And as more people leave Facebook to go to TikTok for entertainment, you create this void. Now, that being said, there is still plenty of opportunity on Facebook and Instagram to reach to your clients. Okay. So don't just think like those are dead. We got to get on TikTok and start doing all that. My business that I do with coaching is international. Like I can coach anyone anywhere in the world. So I'm trying to reach a much broader audience. But with my construction business, I'm on Facebook predominantly because that is where I want to reach my clients locally. So it depends on where your clients are at. Okay. Now, what type of content should you be creating for social media? You need to be creating content that's engaging, one, that's informative, two, and that is that creates not engagement, but it's like oh, my mind just went blank. Content that creates conversation. Okay, that's kind of like engaging. Engaging is really more like stuff that they want to see, but creating content that is conversational is like asking questions, taking polls, getting opinions and ideas. Because with Facebook, the more comments and likes that you get on posts, the more it will push it out to more people, right? So you want to have more engagement. So when you're posting things on Facebook or Instagram, pictures and videos are the two main things that you want to do on a regular basis, right? It's pictures of before and afters. It's videos of what you're doing and what you're working on, and then also videos of afters. It's posting informational content like here's the latest trends, and here's the latest painting, the colors that people are painting their houses. Here's the latest trends on light fixtures. Here's the latest trends on faucets and plumbing, and here's the latest trends on landscaping, and blah 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 blah. Right? Like that's informative style of posting. When you're posting before and after pictures, if you're doing a side-by-side picture where it's just one picture, it's okay to post the before and after. If you're posting multiple pictures, like to an album where you're going to have 3 or 5 pictures, always make sure the picture that shows up on that album is the after. And this is proven statistic. This is proven factually. Okay. When people are scrolling, if they see a beautiful kitchen, if you're doing kitchen remodels, if they see a beautiful kitchen, they will stop and look at that before they'll stop and see an ugly kitchen. So if you're doing before and afters, always post the afters first. If someone sees a beautiful kitchen, they will click on it. And if it opens up an album or, a bunch of other pictures, then they will see the after in there, and they'll be able to make that distinction of like, wow, that's a huge transformation. Okay. This is literally the same reason why people post pictures of their cars and their airplanes and their mansions and all that stuff, is to get your attention. The old pictures do not get people's attention. The new stuff will. So always post the new stuff first. That's the first tip when you're doing before and afters. Okay. If you're if you want to get engagement, the best types of pictures are to take 4 different pictures. Like in one picture, you have it split up into 4, like a picture frame, and you put a numbers or letters. This is super key, guys. Put a numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 letters A, B, C, D in the corner of the picture. You'll have to do some editing on the picture. And let's say you're a landscaper. You have 4 different backyards, right? Like maybe you do hardscaping, patios, or whatever. Put 4 different pictures of very, very different designs, very different styles, A, B, C, D, and you ask the question something like, if you had to pick one and keep it for the rest of your life, which one would you pick? Or which one is your favorite? Or something like that. You're asking them a question to answer. And then they'll go to the comments and they'll answer A or B or D or whatever, right? That's how you create engagement and create the communication part of it, the back and forth. Because you want people to comment. The more people that comment on your post, the more the post will be pushed out to more people. This is how you use organic posts, especially on Facebook. All right. A lot of you guys are just posting, look at this beautiful job we did. Call us for a free estimate. That stuff doesn't work. You want engagement. You want your stuff to go viral in the sense of people are going to click on it and like it and all that. Okay. Other things you can do, we've all seen, like, you've probably seen on there, you can only pick one house for the rest of your life. Which one is it? And one's like a mansion on the beach. The other one's like a cabin in the woods, with snow on the ground. The other one is, wherever, cornfield or whatever. Another one's a tree house or something stupid. And it really, like, there's no actual value in that post other than entertainment, like getting people to dream, right? You want people to dream with you. So if you post a picture of a beautiful landscape that you just finished, post it in there and say something like, here is a backyard, transformation we just completed for a client or whatever. What is your favorite part of this? Or ask a controversial question. Do you like it or do you hate it? Would you say this is your style or no? Like, all you're trying to do is to get people to comment, whether it's a yes or no, or, I like this or don't like this, whatever. You're just trying to get people to interact with your content. The more you do that, the more it pushes it out. Okay. The same with Instagram. When you post on Instagram, make sure you ask some type of question or a call to action. They call it a CTA, a call to action. It's like, do this. If you've seen this post, do this. You want to hop on live, Eric the Great? Is that what you're talking about? Or you can just post some questions if you want. I'm here to answer questions. I just didn't know what you meant by that. So, what, hop on live? Is that you're saying yes to that? I don't know if I can do that. Are your questions about social media? Is there questions about social media? I just want to make sure if we're going to go live, I can do that, but I want to keep it. Okay. All right, cool. So let's bring Eric on here live. And if I can do that, I don't even know if I can do it, man. Yep, I sure can. I just sent you an invite. There he is, Eric. Eric, you're on, man. You're live.
Cool. So yeah, I was just wondering, do you do do your own social media, or do you hire out?
Yeah, that's a great question, dude. Yes, I do my own social media. And I truly believe that you should be doing your own social media. And here's the reason why. You have a specific flavor, a style, personality to your post and what you do. And so therefore you want to convey that type of style and flavor. People, it's just like with my business. There's lots of other coaches out there that do what I do, right? The reason why people will hire someone is because they like that person, they like that business, they like that style, right? So if you hire someone to do content creation for you, one, it's going to be more expensive, right? But two, they generally don't capture the style and personality of the owner or the business. And I'm not saying that hiring out is going to be like terrible and you should never do it. I'm just saying from a long-term perspective, it's better to do it yourself. And the other thing is, a lot of these businesses that do content creation, they reuse information, right? So they may say they're going to post an article for you. They may post an article about the top 5 new color trends. Well, they may post it on your accounts, and they may post it on the 20 other accounts that they have on Facebook. And a lot of these social medias and even Google are starting to penalize people for reusing the same content. Does that answer your question?
Like if you're looking at, it's like if you're looking at 6 different contractors and they've all got the same stuff, you're like, okay, who's the original one? You can't really tell, you know?
Yeah. Now here's a way to
That makes sense.
yeah, here's a way to kind of alleviate some of the posting responsibilities. It's okay if you have multiple people in your organization posting. So like, and I don't know the size of your company, but people that are watching this, if you have like an office manager or if you have a foreman or whatever, like you could have multiple people posting within your organization on your page, and you'll get multiple personalities and viewpoints and content. That's okay, right? But it's just, you have to be careful with some of those companies that you hire out, because they're going to be posting more like, here's an article about this, and here, if you're looking for a new painter, call us today. Like they're going to be posting more of those salesy types of content. um, when it comes to social media, a lot of the companies and people that are doing that are younger, and all they understand is creating content. They don't always understand the quality of the content. So it's like the Wild West. Like if you hired 5 companies to do social media for you, maybe one of them will be really good and the other 4 will be mediocre.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing is if they don't have like a construction background or whatever it's whatever field you're in, it's like they're just gonna pick run of the mill stuff that they see,
Right.
articles and stuff.
Right. And so you have to be careful. Like if I were to start a social media agency, posting for contractors, I'm probably going to have a better idea of what works because I use it in my own business, right? So like that would be someone you would want to hire, someone who has a background in that area, that you're doing, and not even so much like if you're a painter, like hiring someone who's a landscaper who used to have a landscaping company, like even that can be a little bit of a separation of continuity.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you mainly do? Like, are you just a GC? You do it all,
Yeah. So full
frame to finish, or
yeah, full disclosure, I have a general contractor's license. I've had my business for 12 years. I put my construction business on hold in January of this year. I'm actually trying to sell it because I'm trying to do coaching full time. So I just want to, like, I'm not trying to hide anything from anybody. I haven't been running my construction business since January of this year. But I was a general contractor. I did remodeling and handyman services, mainly bathroom remodels, some kitchens, a lot of carpentry. I'm consider myself a finished carpenter by trade, but I had a general contractor's license just to cover everything.
right, right. So that's like I do a lot of remodeling, some commercial, but I'm trying to like get to being just doing like decks or something specialized, something that I'm good at.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the issue right now is like, how do you specialize? Like, you seem like
So
with the social media aspect, specialize or make it specialized to what you do.
so that's a great question. I highly recommend niching down what you do. What's that?
Right.
So
No, I just said right. That's
yeah,
my plan.
yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there, Eric. So yeah, if you want to specialize, if you want to niche down, then here's a couple things you got to consider. Um, One is your branding needs to match. So this is a whole nother topic, but a lot of times contractors will have, and I'm just going by your name. It says Eric the Great, but let's say, um, you start a business and you call it Eric's Contracting Services, and then you want to be a deck builder. That brand, that name does not identify with the niche that you're trying to get into. So a lot of times people need to they need to rebrand, right? That's not always the case. Sometimes you need to rebrand.
That's what
What's that?
that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So
Rebranding.
yeah, so if you want to focus on decks, I'm
My
gonna
company's Eric's Remodel.
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, remodeling is, encompasses a lot of different things. I'm not saying that you have to rebrand to be successful. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying that it helps with marketing whenever your brand is specific to what you actually do. So, in terms of social media and niching down, then you would just start posting content about decks and everything it has to do with decking.
Right. And another question was how much do you usually post? Like, what's your goal for the week or month to post?
So there is no perfect answer, but the more you post, the better. What's more important though is consistency. So if you're like, oh, I watched this video live with Brad, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna post every day for a week, and you go out there and you post 3 times every day for a week, and then the following week you don't post anything, that's going to hurt you in terms of people getting consistent information. So it's more about what you can do consistently. If you could only post twice a week and do that consistently, then that's what I would do, is post twice a week. That doesn't mean that one week you might have the ability to post 4 times, but you need to post like twice a week. Ideally, organic posts you need to do about one a day. That would be kind of an ideal scenario, is about one post a day, and mix it up so it's not the same type of post. So, I would do this for me in my business. If I was starting a bathroom remodel, the day of demo, day one, I'm doing a live. I got my phone, I do a live video. The live videos, as far as Facebook goes, live videos are the best. So go live on your Facebook page or Instagram or whatever, and you just say, hey, it's Brad here. We're getting ready to start this bathroom remodel. Customer wants to make some couple changes, blah blah blah. We're going to do this and this and this. Make sure you stick around and watch the whole process. And then I just go live periodically throughout the whole project. If it's a 3-week project, I may go live 10 times in that 3 weeks. I don't do live every single day, because there's not always stuff like during drywall. There's nothing changes for 4 or 5 days, right? So I don't go live every day, but I'm going live through major portions of that project, and then I'm definitely going live at the very end.
Right. Yeah, to show what the finished.
Yeah. And
yeah, that makes sense.
And there's different lives. There's different types of lives too, man. There's lives where you're showing the project that you're working on. There's lives where you're showing behind the scenes of like what your guys are doing, and this is great to showcase your team, so that you can see, like, if I don't know how many people you have, but anyone who's watching this, if you have 5 guys on your team
right now,
it's just you.
Yeah, so it's been a little rough the past couple weeks, but I'm finishing up a big commercial job, so it's kind of like the money's not coming in anyways right now. So
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm not just talking to you, Eric. I'm talking to everybody watching. But if you have a team, go ahead and showcase a team. Like, get out of your truck, like pull up, say, hey, I just pulled up to the Smith job, or I just pulled up to this job on Riverside Drive, or whatever, and I'm gonna go see what the guys are up to. Now you can do this 2 ways. You can tell them in advance, like, hey guys, I'm going to record this. I'm going to come in, act like you're doing something. Or you can literally do it live. If you have a good team and a good culture, and they actually work and you trust them, like, just show up impromptu and like get out of your truck, walk in with your phone recording live, and be like, what's going on in here? And you just walk around and you see Chris over there installing a door or whatever, and walk up and say, Chris, what's going on, man? What are we working on? And he may say, oh, we're just putting this door in. People like to see the behind the scenes stuff that's happening in the business, because it makes your company and you seem like real, like it's a real thing. And people also get to know the people on your team, right?
Right. Makes sense. All right. So that was pretty much it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Thanks for jumping on and asking the questions and watching. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks.
All right. So that was Eric jumping on, had some questions. Those were some good questions, some really good questions. We had one on Facebook that said, should I post more on my business page or personal? That's another great question. In regards to Facebook, always post on your business page and then share that post on your personal. So, like, if you're doing a post of like, here's a status update of this bathroom we're working on. We just got the electricity installed, blah blah blah, and you have a picture or whatever. You post it on your business page, and then you share that post on your personal. So it's going to look like you sharing your business page on your personal. That's the way you maximize that type of content. One other thing, this is about social media, specifically to Facebook, but it's for all of them. You guys should have your personal pages optimized. Now, what does that mean? What does optimize mean? If you're a landscaper and you own whatever, Tri-State Landscaping Company, I just made that up, and that's the name of your business, Tri-State Landscaping, your personal page, your personal profile should have everything about your business in there. It should have that you own a business. It should have that this is what you do, because people will social proof you. There are lots of people today with the ease of access that will social proof you. And this is another tip when I hire people, when I was hiring for my construction business, the very first thing I would do when I got an application was go look and see if they had a Facebook profile. And I would look at their profile. And if their profile picture was them, doing something like this, I wouldn't even give them a second look. Done. They're out. Or it's a picture of them, chugging a beer, acting stupid. Because if that's what they're publicly posting for the entire world to see, they probably don't have very good, smart social skills. Okay. It applies to you and your business. I've talked to a lot of contractors, the ones that even reach out or on my Facebook group. Here's another thing, when people join my private Facebook group, my free Facebook group, the Contractor Profit group, when people join that, they have to answer 4 questions, and I have to approve them. That's on purpose. And you know what I do when you guys apply for joining the group? I go look at your profile. I go look at every single person who joins my group. Why? Because if I go look at your profile and it's a profile of you doing stupid shit like that again, I'm not going to let you in my group. Because if that's the image that you want to protrude to the entire world, is that you act like a moron, I don't want you acting like a moron in my group. And your customers will do the exact same thing. They will go and social proof you. So if you have stuff on there that's very political, if you have stuff on there that's very, whether it's religious or anti-religious, if you have a bunch of like very polarizing content on your pages, I would recommend cleaning that up. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't have an opinion, you can't have beliefs and all that stuff. You can. That's perfectly fine. But there's a difference between, saying something like, I really don't agree with the president and his stance on this, versus posting stuff of let's go Brandon, right? Like that's 2 different types of content that you're posting on your page. And again, I'm not for or against any one of those. I have I have beliefs. A lot of people don't agree. But I just don't go out there and try to be as polarizing as possible on my personal stuff, because I'm just like, I don't care. No, you should care. People are going to look at it. So optimize your personal stuff to maximize the reach that you have. People buy who you are, right? People want to know that most people are going to hire you if they think you're a good person. if they think you're a complete idiot and there's a probability that you may run off with their money or, not do a good job, they're not going to hire you. And your social media is a window into your character. Yeah, on Facebook, first impression is everything, 100%. So, optimize your personal pages as well. And that way, when you share it, share it. Now, me personally, I like to keep my business and my personal life separate. So my personal profile is open and people can go to it, but I've had customers like of my construction business friend request me on Facebook and I decline it because I don't want to mix my personal life with work. Now there's arguments about this. I mean, that's totally up to you. I'm not saying what I'm doing is the right way to do it. I'm just saying how I am. So I tend to be more reserved on my personal page. And a lot of times I would not share or post business stuff on my personal page. That's just because of me and how I look at things. But if you want to maximize the amount of exposure, post to your business page and then share it to your personal and make sure your personal page is optimized. Great questions, guys. If you got any other questions, throw them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them for you. As far as social media and what types of posts to do, the ones that I said that like have, which one do you like, A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4 with pictures, those do really good. Always ask some type of call to action to get a response from someone. Like do polls. You can create polls of like, what's your favorite, what's your favorite type of, I don't know, bathroom, right? Or do you like walk-in showers? Do you like bathtubs, soaking tubs? You can just ask questions. You can like right now, and it's a lot of people are getting rid of bathtubs because nobody takes baths anymore. They want real big walk-in luxury showers, right? So you could ask a question of like, bathtub, yes or no. It could be that simple. Have a picture of a bathtub. Are you a bathtub person? Yes or no? And then that encourages people to respond. I'm in Indiana. Looks Pikachu, whatever that's the name it's showing up on Facebook. I live in Indiana. I asked that question because it seems to get more views on my personal page. Yeah, I would still share the business post because people that are friends with you on your personal page may not even realize that you own a business. I know that sounds like silly, but a lot of us have this idea that like because I started a business, everyone automatically knows I own a business, and that's not true at all. The only way people know you own a business is if either you tell them or someone else tells them or they see that you own it. So part of marketing is getting your name out there, right? So if you post it on your business page and then share it on your personal page, it associates the two of you. And so if someone who didn't know you own the business sees you post that, they're quite like, oh, I wonder why he's showing. I wonder why, Chris is sharing this, or maybe he just really likes his business or whatever. But if you do it enough, then it starts to sink in and they may realize that you actually own the business. So you have to tell people what you do. I know that sounds like the most basic thing, but people don't know what you do. I can't tell you how many times in my own business that we would do work for people, okay, and then find out after the fact that they hired someone else to come in and do work for them, and then they hired us to come back. Then I say, well, oh, how come you didn't call us to do that? And they say, well, we didn't know you did that. We just because they associate certain things with you. If you're a general contractor and you do room additions, kitchens, bathrooms, and roofing, just use those four. And let's say they call you for a roof and you go put a roof out there, they associate you as a roofer. They don't associate you generally as a kitchen remodeler or whatever, right? And so if you don't tell people what you do, they don't know. And you can't blame them. Just because you do 5 services and they hire you for one doesn't mean they automatically know you do the other 4. So part of your marketing is educating. That's why if you do like newsletters, weekly or monthly newsletters for your, for your members, your customers, send out a monthly newsletter. I had a monthly newsletter for a long time, like years. And every month I would highlight a service that we did. It would just simply say, service spotlight. And it would say, like, did you know we do this? Did you know we did that? Here's the thing we just did. I would also highlight past projects. And so they could see like completed projects. It's just educating them on what you do. It also keeps you front of mind. Pikachu, I know India is a country, but if you go back and look at your comment, it says, have you been to India? IN behind it. And if you take India and add IN, it looks like Indiana. So that's why I said Indiana. But yeah, I live in Indiana. I've never been to India. And that's a weird name, by the way, Pikachu. I mean, I know what Pikachu is, but for a username. You guys have any other questions for me? I appreciate the rose to, I don't know how to say your name, OG Mombi. Paramount Metal Fab says post value for the customers, post pictures of the do's and don'ts. Yeah, it's always about the customer. It's not about you. It's not about, hey, I'm showing you a picture of a bathroom we did, so please call and schedule an estimate. That's for you. You're doing that for you. You're not doing it for them. If you're posting things of like, here's the latest trends, here's how you fix this, here's how you do that. I had a really, really, really popular video. And by the way, you can record videos, throw them on YouTube, okay, and then share those YouTube videos on your social media. But I did a YouTube video on, basically it was like, before you buy that vanity from the big box stores, make sure you watch this video. And I explained that one of the most common problems that happen with people who want to buy vanities from big box stores, and that is most of them are furniture style vanities, meaning the edges of the vanities are like have legs on them. They have different profiles on them. They're not flat, and you can't buy trim pieces to fill in those and put them up against walls. This is a marketing ploy that big box stores screw tens of thousands of people every year. If you ever go to a big box store, Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever, and you see a vanity you love, it's really pretty. It's got furniture feet, decorative edges, all these different fancy doors and stuff. If you look at the picture of that vanity on the box, that vanity is sitting in the middle of a wall. It's like there's no end walls on it. It's always in the middle of the wall. And that's because they're not designed to be pushed up against the wall. Yet, like 90% of bathrooms, specifically hall bathrooms or guest bathrooms, they're always at least up against one wall or in between 2 walls. Like 90% of bathrooms are like that. So we would go do jobs for people that wanted to buy this vanity, and we would show up and it had decorative edges. And now when you slide it in there, there's no way you can fill those in. So I did a video on that. Like, this is what you need to know before you buy a vanity. And it did extremely well, like thousands of views. And I even got a job from a client, 2 bathroom remodels from a client, because they watched that video, and it made me seem like the expert who knew about bathrooms and knew about all the problems. And she told me, I watched your video on that and it was very educational. So when you educate your clients, you become the expert. And so even if you do a video on like, here's how to fix this thing so you can do it yourself, and they're able to watch that video and then go fix that thing, and they don't have to call anyone, A lot of people are like, well, that's giving away my business. I want them to call me so I go out and fix it. No, that's a scarcity limited mindset. If you give someone advice and they act on it and it works, you've now embedded in their mind that you're the expert. So the next time when they get into something that they can't fix, they're going to call you first. You're going to be the first one that they go to. It's literally the reason why I do these lives. It's why I post the content. It's because I'm trying to show you guys that I am the expert and that I can help you. So if I do this live and you go out and you start posting organic content and you start getting more business and more likes and more interaction, and that benefits you, you're going to be happy. And then now the next time you have a new problem that you don't know, you're going to come back to me as a source for trying to get more information. That's the whole game. It's through education, right? It's through providing value. There's lots of other reasons why you should be providing content and stuff, because you can reuse it, you can repurpose it. I had a video, I recorded a video on what to expect on your first day of the remodel. And I would say, this is what we were going to do. When we first get there, the very first thing we're going to do is coordinate with you and figure out where we can park our vehicles and our trailers and stuff, because we want to make sure that you have access. We want to make sure we're not blocking the road or impeding your neighbors. We also want to make sure it's going to be the most easy access for us to work in and out of your house. So we're going to coordinate with you with where to park. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to go over the whole project with you. And then we're going to put down, protection on the floors. And then we're going to remove things out of the way. Like, it was just an explanation of what they can expect on the first day. And it was a YouTube video. I throw that on my business channel. And you should have I'm not saying you should, you have to, but it's a good idea to have a YouTube channel for your business just to host the videos on. You're not going to get a lot of people going to YouTube, watching your video, and then hiring you. But if you create videos and you put them on YouTube, it will generate traffic, but you can now share those videos. So I hosted that video on what to expect on the first day on YouTube. And then now when I would sell a job, I would share that video with them as homework. I would send them an email and I would say, hey, here's some videos I'd like you to watch before we start your project. And then one of them was what to expect on the first day of remodel. That's how you create valuable content to repurpose later on. You can use that as a drip campaign. Let's say you sell a bathroom today. You're not going to start on it for 6 months. Well, if you just collect a check from them and then they don't hear from you for 6 months, a lot of people will start to get scared and wonder if you're actually going to show up. So what you should do is minding the time. You're minding that time between there is on occasion send out information. And you can do that if you have enough content made, you can do that on a weekly basis. So like every Friday, you would send out a simple email with maybe an update or a piece of content. Like, hey, here's what to expect on the first day. Now you would coordinate it to what makes the most sense. I'm not going to send that out on, 5 months away. I may send that video 2 weeks away from starting because I want that fresh in their mind. But you can create lots of content like that and then repurpose it. And when you share that content, it actually increases your SEO and stuff, because if I share that video and a link in an email and they click on that, and it goes to YouTube, it increases my views on YouTube. But what I would do is create blogs. This is a little bit more than social media, but I would create blog posts on my website. I would embed that video into that blog post, and then I would transcribe that video. The actual words I'm saying would be transcribed using a software, and I would post that transcription. I would take out all the ums and misspellings and stuff like that, and I would shorten it, and I would post that, and I would have a blog post on my website. So I have a blog post of a video. It's an embedded YouTube video with the transcription. Why would I do that? Because I can share that blog post in an email. If I share the link to that blog post in an email and they click on it and they go to my website and they read that blog or watch that video on the blog, it increases my SEO for my website. And then most blog type of platforms will show other ones. Hey, you watched or read this blog, maybe this other blog would be something you'd be interested in. And I had another blog post about things like the different types of shower doors and different types of what's the difference between a framed, frameless, and semi-frameless shower door, because that's a common question I would get asked. I would have another one. What's the different types of shower shelves? Whether it's a niche, a corner shelf, wire shelving, all the different questions around the shelvings in showers, because that was another question I would get asked. And you create all of this content, and now you share it. And every time you share it, it increases the SEO for your website, which in turn increases your organic reach on Google. Guys, there's so much stuff here that's connected that has to be done behind the scenes, that if you're not doing any of this, you're leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business out there for your competitors to steal. This business is a ongoing web of all these intricate things that happen. And the more you do, the better. But if you don't do any of them, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt, because companies that do those things are going to dominate in your market. And that's why I dominated in my city, because when I started my business, there was none of my competition even had a website, because the websites weren't that popular back then. I was the first one that had a website. I've always been on the cutting edge. I've always been ahead of the game in terms of doing these things. I have more reviews for my business than any other of my competitors. I mean, hundreds more, because I'm always being ahead of them. And that's what you have to do in business if you want to win. You can't just stick a magnet on your truck and then expect to do well. It's not good enough. There's too many people out there doing 100 times more effort than you when it comes to that. The more hands you shake, the more money you make. That's right. So guys, we're heading down to the last few minutes. If you got any other questions, throw them in the comments. I want to answer them for you. Seth, what's up, man? Thanks for jumping on here. You guys sticking around and watching, I appreciate it. If you have any other questions, throw them in the comments real quick and we'll answer them. Hopefully I provided you with a lot of value on what to do. This is like scratching the surface, guys. There's so much stuff you can be doing in social media with SEO, organic and stuff. Once you start creating content, you can repurpose it. Okay. So like, for example, if you create a blog post, then you can share that as a Facebook post. And really that's just sharing a link, but that link takes them to your Facebook. What's up, Butters? What's going on, man? Thanks for jumping on. Butters is one of my clients in the Profit Club. He's done really well. So appreciate you jumping on here, man. Got a bunch of people joining late here in the last couple minutes. If you guys are just joining, I'm coming to the end of the broadcast here. So if you have any questions about social media, throw them in the comments real quick and I'll answer them for you. I don't want to leave you hanging, so you still got time. Got a few more minutes left. Butters, did you see my post about the new Profit Awards that I'm going to be doing? I know you did, because you responded to it. So I know you probably got one of them coming pretty quickly. We got a few more people jumping in here at the last minute, guys. If you have any more questions, make sure you throw them in there, and I want to answer them for you. At least bronze, yeah, man, for sure. You'll be at silver in no time. So I'm excited to get those things sent out to y'all. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I have the Profit Club. This is my sales pitch now, guys. I told you I give you lots of value, and then I do the soft sell at the end. So I do coaching for contractors. I have a group a coaching group that I do. It's called the Profit Club. We focus on creating profits for contractors. We also help them with sales and lots of other things, mindset, KPI systems, things like that. But really, it's at the end of the day, it's about making more money. We want to make more money. That's the big thing, right? So I created an award for people once they get to a certain profit level. So we have a $100,000 profit level, $250,000 profit level, and a $500,000 profit level. And that's on additional profit once they joined. So, some guys jump in, join the group, and they're already making $200,000 a year in profit. But once they join the group, they make an additional $150,000 a year in profit. So they're making 350 instead of 200. So that award is to celebrate those people that are making those additional profit milestones in their business. So I just launched that today. I'm excited to start giving those awards out. But that's my group coaching. It's called the Profit Club, and that's where I help contractors. So that's my sales pitch. If you want more information, you can go to my bio, click on my link, or reach out to me, whatever, and I can share with you. He says I didn't sell materials until Profit Club, so it's going to be a big number, I think. Yeah, dude, a lot of people didn't sell materials. The number of people are like, oh, I just do labor and I have the homeowners go buy the materials. You're losing tens of thousands of dollars on jobs when you do that. Like literally losing tens of thousands. I did that for a long time in my business, screwing myself. So obviously there's some caveats. If you're a service business, like if you're an electrician or something like that, or a handyman, or you just do pressure washing or whatever, like there's not going to be a lot of materials per se to mark up. And so that's going to be based on more labor. But for like if you're a remodeler, a landscaper, a roofer, where you're providing materials or you're doing materials for that job, you should be providing them and you should be marking them up. You should be marking them up. So if you're doing a job and if you're building a deck, like Chris was on here earlier and he's doing decks, if you got $3,000 in deck material, and let's say $3,000 in labor, that's $6,000, right? That's your break even. You should be marking that up 100%. You should be selling that deck. It's $6,000. You should be selling that deck for $12,000. And most people are selling decks like that for like $8,000, $8,000. Like they're just getting their labor and they're not marking up materials. Or if they do mark up materials, they're marking up a very small portion of it. And you should be marking it up 100%. So you should be selling it for $12,000. And most people, when I tell them that, like their mind goes because they're like, oh, there's no way I could sell a deck like that. No one would ever pay for it. Well, first of all, if that's your mindset, you're right. What you believe, you'll achieve. So if you believe no one will do it, then that's what you'll achieve. But number two is, it's because most of the time you're not marketing to the right people. I can tell you with 100% certainty that there are people out there that will pay it. I know this because I have clients all over the world and in other countries. Well, that is including all over the world. I meant to say all over the United States and other countries that do it. And they mark up materials 100% and they're very successful. So most contractors are leaving anywhere from 50 to 70% of their profit with the homeowner, because they're not marking up materials or they're not providing materials, and they're not marking up their labor correctly either. There's a reason why, guys, 96% of contractors go out of business and within 10 years. Did you hear what I just said? 96% of contractors go out of business in the first 10 years. It's like 70 something percent in the first 5 years. So it's because you don't make enough money. That's it. You don't make enough money. You don't make enough money to make it worth your while. You don't make enough money to be able to expand. You don't make enough money to be able to buy new tools and equipment. You don't make enough money to be able to hire people, hire the right people. And Travis can tell you the big difference between hiring people and hiring the right people, as he's gone through several bad hires and stuff, and just in the past few months. One of them cost him an entire bathroom redo. Had to tear out a whole, re-waterproof a whole bathroom. Yeah, he says it cost him about $25,000 by making a bad hire. So, but when you make more money, it allows you to be able to hire better quality people because you can pay them more. You're not going to hire an A player and only pay them $15 an hour, right? So, but if you're not charging enough money and you can't afford to pay someone $25 or $30 or $40 an hour, because the most you make, you could only pay them $20 an hour, then you're settling for B and C grade players, because that's all that people are going to be able to take those jobs, are B and C grade players. So if you want A players to be able to get off the tools, guys, and run a business, you have to charge more money. And there's lots of things you have to do to be able to charge more money. You can't just simply, sometimes you can just charge more money and that's it. Other times you have to increase the value your business produces before you can charge more money and people are willing to pay it. I mean, you can't just show up in a rusted out pickup truck looking like a homeless person and then charge, premium rates over the company that came out who has a professional wrap and polos and shirts and all that stuff, and they website, and they're very professional, and you're $5,000 more than them, but you look like a homeless man in a stolen pickup truck. Like, you're probably going to have a hard time selling that job, right? So you have to put out the image, and you have to do the required things to be able to provide the value so that you can charge premium rates and have that kind of lifestyle that you want. Okay. So that's the end of it, guys. I appreciate you jumping on here. If you want more information, go to my profile on TikTok, go to my profile, make sure you like and follow, send me a message if you want more information, guys, on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for jumping in here. Feel free to leave comments or questions and I'll answer them later. And I appreciate you all jumping on and watching. And I'll be live again on Friday at same time, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. One last thing is, you guys leave, do me a favor, double tap the screen and on TikTok and just give me some likes. It just helps the whole algorithm. And that's a way of saying thank you. So I appreciate you all for jumping on here. So before you head out, double tap the screen and we'll see you in just a few days. All right. Thanks, everybody.